Welcome back to Property Play. I'm your host, Elena Saradidis, and today I have Jonathan and Elan with me. You have seen them here before. It is my favorite mortgage broker and my favorite real estate lawyer.
Let's go.
And always whenever we're together, things get a little intense, I would say. We love to throw Jonathan hypothetical questions. Both of us do. And the common debate between the three of us is who has the worst job, the mortgage broker, the lawyer, or the real estate agent.
Worst job, hardest job.
Hardest job.
Okay. Is the hardest job same thing as the worst job?
No.
Really?
Who has the hardest job?
You. Guaranteed you.
I think it's me. I really do.
I think it depends on the market.
I think it's me.
So are we in the conclusion that Jonathan has the easiest job?
Yeah.
Look at his face. He's like,
yeah. No, I would say yes.
I think it's easy until it's not. Like when things go wrong, who you work with as a lawyer matters.
Of course.
And like the way I phrase it to people when I talk about Jonathan is Jonathan's my own personal lawyer. He's done transactions for myself. I put myself in more complicated situations than I ever put my clients in. So Jonathan gets to, test his skills quite often.
Meditation helps a lot.
But what I do love about referring him is he's the type of person that if something goes wrong, he can solve it. So everyone always asks, like, who do I work with for a lawyer? Like, do I go to the most expensive? Do I go to the cheapest? Do I go to whatever? I'm like, you go to the person that if something goes wrong, God forbid something goes wrong, they have your back.
Yeah. This is why I do not have the easiest, funnest job. Think about this for a second. Mortgage broker, realtor. How many times have I called each of you for work-related hypothetical in a panic?
But that's not hard.
But why? No, why have I never called you
literally
that?
not hard. I don't know.
Because I don't encounter those because you're the ones who bring it to me and then I got to fix messes. So isn't that the worst job technically?
My job is to prevent messes from reaching you. So I had a discussion.
I would say that's mine too, but
But I had a discussion with a friend who basically sells mutual funds and all that stuff. And I said, my job is much harder than yours. And he was like, I disagree. And I'm like, okay, when you buy Apple stock, you buy Apple stock. I'm giving you $100,000. They give you the Apple shares. You're done. But when you come to me for a mortgage, I need to get everything flawlessly organized, reviewed, structured. And if there's one decimal out of place, the bank is going to fold the deal. So it's not just finding a client, working with them, understanding their needs. It's making sure that you meet each and every lender requirement. Now, in the world of money laundering and, regulations and all this and that, banks don't really want to lend, or they lend based on a checklist. And the other thing is not only they lending on a checklist, they have an auditor and a manager, and there's 12 layers of people that are looking for any micro error that you might have.
You're giving me anxiety, by the way, when I'm thinking about this.
I mean, that's just the reality of it.
But this is Elan's favorite topic in the world.
No, but I want to build. So 30 years ago, Aunt Susie worked for IBM and Uncle Tom worked for Chrysler. They've each been there for 20 years, very simple income. Now, sharing economy, gig economy, I do this part-time, I rent out my basement for cash, I co-sign on my sister's car loan, I worked at Apple, but then I quit, but now I'm a contractor and I contract back to Apple. So like all of that is happening. I got some Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin is off grid. Like the economic world is harder and the lending world is tighter. So I still think I have the hardest job. Love you both.
Fair enough. Let me ask you something. Thinking about in the realtor line of work, how many times do you have to cold call to and do door knocking to get random clients?
I think it's just as hard for mortgage brokers, though. Do you know? Look, you get to your level and then people come to you. But I think the amount of mortgage brokers in my inbox on a day-to-day basis is quite extensive. And they're like, we want an opportunity to just talk to you so you can see if you want to work with me. Like they are hunting. Like they'll stop by our open houses. And like the rejection level on mortgage brokers asking for work is very high. Like if I'm hosting an open house and a mortgage broker's coming to offer me something, I'm most likely going to be like, we're in an open house. Like it's not the right.
Yeah.
But they want business too. Like I think I told you this. Please don't do this if you're hearing this and you're a mortgage broker. I have a mortgage broker. I'm really happy. But I met with one mortgage broker in the history of ever that sent me an actual mail, stapled a $20 bill to it. And in the letter, he wrote something along the lines of, I know your time is worth money, and I want to make it clear, like, I would love to take you for coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, thank you for at least reading the letter, and here's $20 for your time. Like, it was something cheeky and funny like that.
Yeah.
But it made me message him because I was like, this is kind of creative.
Yeah.
I messaged him. He's the one mortgage broker I've had coffee with.
I had a realtor show up at my door with a coffee.
That's just gross.
Looking for my brother, mistaking that's me.
I remember this story.
And we're talking. I said, well, I'm not him. I'm me. Oh, and you're a lawyer. Da, da. Well, I have this fresh coffee here. And I said, okay, so I don't know you. I've just met you. No offense, but I don't know what's in that coffee. Why would I drink this coffee? It's not happening.
He came to your door, like your home door?
Like
not your office?
Showed up at my home. Yeah.
That's like...
Don't even know how he found it.
I can tell you exactly how he found it.
No, it's not that hard.
No, you can find everything.
Although lawyers magically make things disappear.
Let's not challenge people to find me. But in all seriousness, like, bring me a $20 bill. Bring me a Tim Hortons gift certificate, not the actual coffee. I don't want to drink the coffee.
It's not purchased right in front of you.
Correct.
I also think that it's odd to do it at your personal residence instead of the place of work. Like, so you're not surprised. Like, it should be like a...
After this recording, I need to know that person's name.
Because Elan's going to contact them.
No, do I know that?
I've blocked it out of my mind, so sorry.
I don't believe you.
I am serious. Every time I take one new piece of information, a piece comes out, so I try not to take in too much.
Don't lie, Jonathan. You gave them your address.
No.
Plot twist, it was me. No, it was not me.
No,
then how many years later?
No, I give you my addresses. You know all my addresses because, I need something. Would you like a burrito? Yes.
Okay. Have you heard of Pavlov dog theory? We've had this conversation.
Did someone say burrito?
Okay, but like...
Go for a burrito now.
You've heard of Pavlov's dog theory. So when Jonathan and I first started working together, the market was really hot. And I needed statuses reviewed. And now a bunch of real estate agents are going to get a good idea to send Jonathan burritos.
We'll work for food.
Yeah. So I would send him statuses after hours. And like no lawyer reviews statuses after hours. They're like, we work 9 to 5. Don't call me after hours. Yeah. My lawyer answers my phones after hours because I Pavlov dog theoried it. Mm-hmm. I would call him at like 5 o'clock on a Friday, panicking. Please don't call Jonathan at 5 o'clock. I've now earned the right that I can call him.
I was at a Buffalo Bills game on a Sunday at 9:30, 10 p.m. and I'm working on a clause in between plays for her. Yes.
So I called him and I was like, hey, just like out of curiosity, can you fix this for me? Or can you do this for me? Or what do you think of this clause? Can you tighten it? Or can you review the status so I can ensure my client can remove it as opposed to the other offers that are not going to get the opportunity to remove the status first? And the next day, and he knows this, he'd have lunch on me every time.
Every time.
Yeah. So then my phone would ring and he'd be like, lunch. Why wouldn't you answer?
Yep. And it works. It works. People like to eat, especially when they're hungry. By the way, I have some stir fry if you're hungry.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay.
Can we change the topic away from burritos and stir fry?
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit of what you're seeing in the market right now? Tell me mortgages, tell me law. Like, are you guys busier now? Is it slower now? Are the files more complicated? And what is the type of product, like the type of real estate being transacted the most that you're seeing?
I would say on my lens, everything is very specific. And what I mean by that is the sort of one size fits all, got this plain boring mortgage. And part of it is the sharing economy. People who are downsizing, who are retirees, have a very different mortgage profile than someone who's starting a new business versus new to Canada versus someone that owns 14 properties. So the days of like one size fits all, like, yeah, one lender, one whatever, those are gone. And the more specific, like it's actually, I have a very funny story, but funny for mortgage nerds like me, but someone was with BMO and we do a lot of work with BMO. And they were all excited. They've got BMO private banking and they've got all this and that. And BMO had approved them through their private banker for a $500,000 line of credit. And I took their file and I went to another lender and I got them a $1.5 million line of credit. And they were like modest income and, you know, like good credit, obviously. And they were like, how is this possible? I'm like, because if, you know, my famous analogy, if you are, you know, driving carpool with 6 kids and you go to the Ferrari dealership, it's not going to work. If you are buying a cottage and you go to Jeep, it's going to be beautiful. So you really need to match the lender to the borrower and to this scenario. Is it a commercial property? Is it mixed use? Is it a micro condo? More and more lenders are like, I hate that stuff and I really like that stuff. And again, part of preventing all the crap at the end is like making sure you understand, oh, I didn't realize my client was divorced. I didn't realize that they have student loans. I didn't realize that they have US debts. I didn't realize that the money's coming from mom and dad from, you know, Asia. The more you need to be on top of this stuff. So that's
comparable rates.
I'm seeing
Comparable rates on the 500 versus the 1.5.
The exact same rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to say? And now I'm going to give you the metaphor. You're going to like this one. So like you go to McDonald's or you order from McDonald's, you get a set menu at the end.
Yeah.
Going to Elan is like Uber Eats. You got a choice of McDonald's, Burger King steak, you know, you got all these different varieties. So it was like the Uber Eats of mortgages.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a vegetarian, if you're high protein, whatever it is, like
you have a ghost kitchen.
Like, you need customization.
But this is my question. Behind the scenes, who is buying right now? Like, what is the majority of people that are submitting offers? Like, are they first-time buyers? Are they upsizers? Are they downsizers? Like, who is it?
Oh.
Go for it.
Okay. I get a lot of status certificate reviews still. A lot. Resale condos. Like, I laugh every time people are saying, oh, the condo market's dead and nobody's buying condos. No. Smart people are buying condos. Number one people that I see buying condos are people with money collecting condos. They don't care. They're carrying, not carrying themselves. They're saying, you know what? The value is there for me. This is a good place for me to park my money. And they are going to appreciate. And rents will go up. And then I'll be laughing in the future. So that's the number one people I'm seeing. Seeing a lot of end users as well. People starting off with their first homes. And they're saying, you know what? I can buy now a slightly bigger condo. And I can buy it without having to do a bully offer or multiple offers. I have my down payment. I have a steady job. Again, at 27 to 32, 27 to 33, first-time buyers, seeing a ton of those. So that has not gone away in the slightest.
Okay.
Yeah.
You seeing the same?
I mean, I think one of my things is if you're a first-time buyer, maybe if you're renting now, definitely worth looking at the market. There's some people moving up, some downsizers. But again, I always like to start at the very simple. I look at the TREB numbers, like purchase volume is down massively. So everyone is buying less in general. But, you know, I love the Warren Buffett mantra, be fearful when everyone is greedy and be greedy when everyone is fearful. Everyone is really fearful right now. Like maybe it's a great time to buy.
Well,
so
that's what
if you have a long run perspective.
The next set of people I'm seeing are those ones in those higher end homes. So the ones that house would have been $3 million, now it's 2.4,
Yeah.
and they're buying it. A house that would have been 2.4 and now it's 1.8, they're buying it. So people are realizing, oh wow, if I go up an extra $200,000, $400,000, I'm getting so much bang for my house. And when I go sell my house, even though I'm selling it for less than what I expected, percentage-wise, I'm still way ahead because I bought something at a better deal. So
100%. So I'm seeing a ton of those as well, and a ton of first-time home buyers getting out of the woodwork. And it's because they're like, wait, interest rates are lower.
Didn't they go down, Elan?
They went down.
Did you know that?
Wow. And
I don't think people in Canada knew that interest rates went down.
They went down.
They went down. The Bank of Canada.
Times are good again. Better.
Everyone's going to be like, why did you have them both on at the same time?
True.
I was like...
And we both just had coffee, so...
Yeah. They also like to egg each other on and have been friends forever, so...
Just
pretty
much. One.
Pretty much.
I don't even know where I was. You've like fully sidetracked me. But I'm noticing, again, a lot of people that are upsizing right now. And then I'm also noticing a lot of first-time buyers getting into the market. And I think the reason why, again, that they're getting into the market right now, interest rates are lower. Then prices have also come down. So you need less of a down payment than you needed before. Interest rates are lower, so you're qualifying a little easier.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect storm if you're getting into the market right now.
There's a lot of new mortgage rules too. So they loosened used to be you needed 20% down if the purchase price was $1 million or more. Now you don't need 20% down. You could do a 30-year amortization, so your monthly payment is lower. So there are, you know, some decently meaningful mortgage rule changes over the last, you know, year or so.
Another positive sign, 2 consecutive weeks of assignment deals coming in. It's good.
No.
Yes.
No.
Assignments aren't bad.
No.
It's a good.
I mean, in my experience, I get a lot of calls about people that bought new condos 4 or 5 years ago at $1,700 a foot, and it's appraising at $950 a foot.
Let's say
So,
person's breaking even who bought it, maybe making a couple dollars, maybe losing a couple dollars, but whatever reason they chose to sell it, they found a buyer that wants to buy it. This is a better thing for the economy than somebody having to buy it that they don't want to, or leveraging themselves or trying to walk away from it.
of course.
Also went a whole week without a phone call. I bought a new construction. Please get me out of this deal. I don't think I can close. I went this whole week so far, and it's Friday afternoon taping, so that's good.
I feel like you're going to get a call. I feel like it's inevitable. I think
You have 9 text messages.
that you haven't checked right now.
That's true.
I think the assignment market is still kind of crazy. Like, people are going to lose money for sure, but I don't think they're prepared for how much money they're actually losing.
It's for the people that are going to lose, correct. They're going to lose big for some of them. But there are some opportunities that come across my desk and realtors messaging me, I got this steal of a deal. And you read how much people walking away from $200,000, $300,000 deposits. And you do the math and you're like, this is actually pretty tempting for somebody. Like, there are some good deals to be had for purchasing on assignment for somebody who's liquid and is not fearful.
Yeah, but liquid and not fearful there aren't that many people that are liquid.
I could say with all certainty this much. Everybody that I know that is uber wealthy, all is in real estate. I've said this before. They all own in real estate. They are all liquid in bad times, and they all scoop up properties one way or the other. And they're all right now on a feeding frenzy. They're either right now in the middle of purchasing something or constantly sending offers in. They are all on this. This should tell you something.
Jonathan, do they need a mortgage broker or a real estate agent? All these friends of yours buying right now? All these rich friends?
You know how lot? You know, by the grace of God, how happy I am that I finally got in with them as a lawyer. Like, there are certain people that you know, and like, you know, I call Elan always my golden goose. You know, Elan why golden goose is because as far as working together and the business opportunities and Elan, the introductions and those people, and it becomes this whole thing. And you can look at this pyramid of connections. And what's the thing? It all started from Elan. That's why I call him the golden
Patient zero.
Mm-hmm. So this is where, you know, I always tell people, you meet people and you think, wow, this could be such a great source of business for me. It's a great opportunity. Yeah, but sometimes, you know what? You form relationships, you go out for dinners, sometimes go on vacations, and you're getting zero business from the people. And you know that there's so much business to be had for you. And you have to accept in life, they may never send you business. They may send you other people, or eventually they may start using you. Some people, it took them 10 years to know me to finally say
100%.
And then once they did, they wouldn't stop. So patience.
But I think that's the same in all 3 of our industries. Like, we meet people all the time, not necessarily when they meet us, will they use us, but over time, there's a trust established, and eventually they might use you. But I was talking at a conference the other week, and I said it. I'm like, people I met 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago at an open house, those people still call me, but it's because I've been consistently following up for how many years. Then they did a purchase with me. Then they did something with me. But it's the consistency of actually still being around.
Something silly, like I have certain dates of people that I know and I've met. I know their birthdays. I know their wedding anniversaries. I know the dog's birthday. I've been doing this since I was a young lawyer. It's on my calendar from years. And there are people that I was wishing them happy birthday for like years and years and years. And I switched. I was a couple different law firms when I was younger. And they still followed me because they're like, wow, you actually took the time to reach out. You didn't send me an automated message. There was no AI back then. Like, you sent me a personal text message. You called me. You took me out for coffee. People appreciate the personal touch, for sure. Huge difference.
Has AI changed your businesses at all? Because you guys have been in it a lot longer than I have. Have you seen a pivot?
I would say so far from my end as a lawyer, because we are in the midst as far as right now we have no AI at our firm, and it's a very clear policy. And then it's, as far as revamping it, why? Because I'm seeing from other law firms, ones that are heavily dependent on AI and following AI blindly, and it's taken them to very murky roads. And there's been already cases about this where a lawyer went to court and cited leading cases, and the judge went to check it and said, AI made this up. There is no such case. I looked it up, and you followed AI blindly, and you never bothered to verify yourself. So I still believe in doing my own legwork, writing my own items. And for anybody that I know professionally that I work with, I said, when you write a letter, if you let AI go and revamp it to nicer language, but the meat and potatoes, you better have written it. So we're still in the midst of, I think it actually gives me a competitive advantage because I actually know how to read and write at a strong level, and I rely on my own abilities versus AI.
Yeah, I would say for me, and for most mortgage brokers, it's very superficial. So like ChatGPT, monthly newsletter, or, hey, I'm doing a realtor presentation, like give me some slides and stuff like that. So I think it's superficial. I think, drafting an email, hey, I need to send an email to a client about X, Y, and Z, like please write it in a robust manner. So again, these like very superficial things. It's for several reasons, data security, privacy, all these things. It's not like we like take all of your info, throw it into AI and be like, the best lender is bank one. That's not here. I think the thing with AI is that it could get here very, very quickly, but right now it's at 0, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be 100 in a year from now. And if you travel, in the US, especially like with Waymo, there's like robo taxis, like Tesla's launching all this stuff. So there's a lot of people that are like, oh no, AI this, it's going to take a long time. It's like, it's not going to take a long time. Whatever it was 2 years ago, no one knew what ChatGPT was. And now it's like very quickly becoming part of our everyday life. But I am going to say I'm a big believer in this. So I'm going to share it here. When I work with AI, I believe in the mantra of like garbage in, garbage out. And what I mean by that is, hey, AI, like write me a mortgage newsletter. That's a lot different than, hey, AI, I'm a top mortgage broker in Toronto. My core clientele is professionals and first-time buyers. Outline a newsletter highlighting key insights in a delivery style that's very matter of fact, very clean, whatever it is. So if you put in some garbage like write me a newsletter, it's going to give you like a bland newsletter that no one cares. I mean, I do pride myself on providing very insightful commentary. So I I prompt it. Now it's still not in my mind giving the stuff that I would deliver, but I think you got to prompt it in a very specific way.
Predictions for the next 6 months. What do you see happening?
I think it's going to be a little bit of like status quo. I don't think anything is going to change up or down, plus or minus. Like I think interest rates are going to fall a little bit, but I don't think there's any fundamental changes that are going to happen. I think the condo market still has some pain in it, which means, again, it might be an interesting time to start looking at it. But I think it's just uncertainty, and the uncertainty drives a little bit of like, I'm going to decide later. I'm not making any big moves now.
I was going to say that I agree, and that was where I'm inkling. And I'm going to slightly disagree for one reason. I'm noticing that more and more clients that are sellers are starting to get the reality of where the market is at.
That's true, yeah.
And what they're starting to accept of what they thought their floor ceilings are. Now they're realizing this is where it's at. And I think people are accepting it more. So I think you're going to see a lot more sellers coming to the market simply because they're going to be more in line with where the market is at. If those buyers that were there are still there, then I think we're going to see a little bit more uptick that way. I think we're going to have a consistency. Otherwise, I don't see high, low prices. I think rates, wherever they're going to dip, 0.1 or whatever they're doing. But it's not, I don't see huge spikes this way, and I don't see huge dips this way. But I think it's still a little bit on the climb. That's where I've been seeing it for a while now in the past few months. Unfortunately, like I think that a lot of it, and I don't want to make this into a whole political, so I won't. But
people like that.
I believe at the end of the day, wherever you stand politically, and God bless you for wherever you are, you're on the right, left, middle, fine. I think it was simply that I think a lot of it was predicated on change. And once there would be any kind of change, I think we would have seen just a different kind of energy into our economy and system. I feel like politically in Canada, we are a lot, and even Ontario, status quo. Like we're back to where we were. It could be a different face, but it's still the same message, same people, essentially. And so I don't see a lot happening that way. And as a result, where I thought the spring summer market would be this year, now I'm thinking lucky now it's going to be in 2026. But at some point, people have to accept, Elena, when times are really good, like when during COVID times and everything's flying off the shelves, people thought times are going to be good forever. Now there are people still come to me, oh, we're screwed. It's going to be like this for these 10, 15 years. The condo market will never recover. We're never going to see builders build again. We're never going to see people lining up to sell out projects anymore. No, it's going to happen. Just a question of when and how. But I'm getting more hopeful for the spring market 2026 is going to be. But I'm cautioning people all the time. If you're holding out saying, I'm going to wait till times are good and then I'm going to buy, then you're going to be standing in line with everybody else. And then it's like, are you buying when it's fearful or hopeful? I'd rather buy when it's fearful.
I have been seeing an uptick on buyers that are looking right now. I just think depending on price point, they're a little bit more slow to pull the trigger. And I think if you are a seller that's listed a property, really understanding the numbers and really understanding where you should be positioned is the most important factor. And then make sure it shows phenomenally or you'll be the last one to sell.
If I was a first-time buyer and I had that money in my pocket, that down payment money, and it's burning a hole in my pocket, and I'm living at home or I'm paying rent, I would go and buy the property now. I would find the best price I could now. Why? Every month that I own this property, I'm buying it, I'm paying down that mortgage, I'm building equity. Period. So whether I'm going to buy it this year or next year, when I look at it in 10 years from now, I'm going to say, man, I'm glad I bought it sooner rather than later.
Look, I think that if you're a buyer, if you are strategic and it's not just like, I'm going to live here, because there is a personal factor of I'm owning. But if you're like, find me the best deal in the market, you should be looking for something priced between 800 and 900 a square foot because you're winning. And when I say you're winning, it's because the cost for developer to build what you just bought
bonkers.
Is too high. They can't, the replacement value is higher than the actual condo. So like you should be looking at that, because if you're buying a condo for less than the replacement value of the condo, you're winning.
Full agreement.
If you're buying a house for less than the replacement value of the house, you're winning. You're winning if you're buying for less than the replacement value. It will eventually happen. They have to build more.
What if I bring you a 10 out of 10 location and this was $1,700 a square foot and you can have it for $1,100 today?
Look, I'd consider it, but can I tell you, I probably still wouldn't buy it at $1,100.
Interesting.
I would want it at $1,000 or less.
But again, like comparing what we're going to buy in Yorkville versus buying in Etobicoke versus buying in Milton.
You're right. But if you're not a gun to my head, I need to buy something, and you're strictly thinking, I need a good investment, I'd be looking at what is the best opportunity. There has to be a seller out there that's willing to take my number, and let's find them. Who's gonna take my price?
I think for me, the lens that I would add is it's really a matter of long-term perspective, right? And liquidity, having the ability, if the times are bad for 3, 6, 12 months and you weather the storm, but in the long run, the way that I articulate it is renting is always better in the short run and it's always worse in the long run. But when those two things converge, you don't know. So like if you're analyzing things on a month in, month out basis, it's probably better to rent for infinity. But like talk to people that have been renting for, 5, 10, 15 years and they've built up no equity and they haven't appreciated and all the tax-free capital gains, the market ran away from them. So it's like renting, sure, short run, buying long run. And then I think the word to me is opportunistic. And if you can be opportunistic and get the right place that you love at the right time, at the right price, you're good.
I also think this is the most risky market to be underbuying in.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you guys tell me your thoughts and like, feel free to be like, Elena, you're full of shit or blah, blah, blah.
Go for it.
But I know people in the comments are going to be like, oh, of course, the real estate agent's saying like spend more money. First of all, I make more money if you spend less money, believe it or not, because you're going to trade up sooner. But when I'm telling you, like, this makes them the best move, you're going to stay here longer. Buying in this market when prices are lower, You're already at an advantage. If you get your end goal right now and you're just in it, you're winning. Why would you underbuy? And then in 5 years from now, we don't know what the market's going to look like. In 10 years from now, we don't know what the market's going to look like. But what happens if it drastically increases? And now I'm stuck in this home that I can't get my next house out of without selling.
I can tell you, I was working at a law firm, and the head of the firm, real estate guru, worth $1 bazillion off of real estate. Every piece of advice he gave to every lawyer in that office for mentoring, I'm going to go buy my first home. I'm thinking about trading up. I don't know if I can afford it. He said, don't care about your car. Don't care about your watch. But there's one thing you're always going to over leverage yourself on. It's a house. If you're thinking about that house is slightly smaller, slightly bigger, always squeeze whatever you can, over leverage yourself for the house. 5-10 years from now, you're going to build way more equity. You're going to be way happier. You're not going to trade your house as frequently. Go for the better buck for the house. So, it always worked for him.
I want to build on your point about underbuying, because I think it's, to me, very visual, which is, and we joke about this all the time. You have a young married couple, they buy a condo for 470 square feet, and it's like, cool, you guys are going to drive each other crazy. It's a 470 square foot condo, and it's great for you because in a year or 9 months or 18 months, you're going to be selling it and buying a 700 square foot condo.
And then guess what? You paid land transfer on that purchase.
Right.
So it's more than what you actually think. You paid you paid realtor fees, and now you're going to sell it and buy. You're going to pay realtor fees again, realtor fees again. You actually make all of us more money when you underbuy because you trade up faster.
Okay, it's no different than you go, I'm not going to buy that $200 blender. I'm going to go buy that $50 blender. The $50 blender breaks on you in 3 months, and you go buy the $100 blender, and then a year later you buy the $200 blender. You've been better off just buying the $200 blender. It's the same principle.
But again, underbuying to me is like, you obviously you have a better lifestyle. And if I contrast, you're not buying Apple shares where you're doing a dividend yield price earnings ratio. You're buying a place to love, and like, well, for a little bit more, I've got a beautiful view. For a little bit more, I have a powder room so that when I have guests coming over, they're not going into like my personal bathroom. Whatever that, I have a parking spot so I don't need to drive myself crazy finding parking. So you're not just buying a mathematical, formula. You're buying a place to live that you could be in for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years. So there is risk. There's this term that I love, and it's super nerdy, but it's called paradoxically conservative. And what that means is sometimes by being overly conservative, you're actually introducing more risk. And by underbuying, you're introducing more risk. You're going to hate it. You're going to need to sell sooner. You're going to like get divorced. So it's actually something that I encourage my clients to at least be aware of. One other quick thing is that buying a condo, especially that I would say, depending on the exact location, under 500 square feet, under 600 square feet, that actually could be an issue with resale. It could be an issue with mortgages. So if you have a choice between a 480 square foot condo and a 612 square foot condo, it's not just the lifestyle you're buying. Again, I call it like buying a Honda with very strong resale value versus you buy some other car. You save $3,000, but 5 years from now, the Honda has retained all of its value. And the cheaper car is worth zero because it fully depreciated. What?
I think we got to pick this up next week. We're just getting on roll.
I think we should talk about next week. I think we should talk about the worst transactions we've ever been a part of.
Yes.
Or like risks that have happened and how you've strategically handled them.
Do we have 5 hours for that one?
No, we don't, but we'll be back next week. This was Property Play. Today I had Elan and Jonathan with me. I almost forgot Jonathan's name. If you like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.